Rabbanim, Chashuvim, trustees and members of the committee, members of the shul, and members of the Northwest London community. Just a few words, I hope it won't be more than a few words. Obviously, an emotion-laden occasion, so I'm going to try and keep it as light as possible. But at the end of 40 plus years, it's important to express Hakaras HaTov. And that gratitude is first and foremost to the Borei Olam, who brought us to this Beis Hamedrash. Like Odom Orishan was planted in Gan Eden for the purpose la'ovda or l'shomra, to work on it, to guard it, so is the tafkid of a rov to be shomer mishmeras hakodesh in a kehillah. And we've got Hakaras HaTov that Hashem gave us that opportunity. I've got Hakaras HaTov to my wife, who wanted me to be Marbitz Torah on a regular basis. I've got a Hakaras HaTov to my parents and my parents-in-law, who were also interested that I should follow that path. I've got Hakaras HaTov to my older brother, who was the first in the family to set a certain path of life, going to yeshiva, which my parents wanted, of course, but he was my older brother, the one who guided me at every step of the way. Hakaras HaTov to all the members of the Beis Hamedrash, past and present, with whom we've had such a wonderful relationship. Hakaras HaTov for keeping us going, Begashmias as well. And there's no end to Hakaras HaTov. Chazal say, HaPoseach Pesach l'chaveroi, nafshoy chayev lo. Somebody who opens the door for somebody else owes him everything. About this Beis Hamedrash, we can apply the key pasuk in the up-and-coming Sedra, Ma toivu alecha Yaakov, Mishkanei Secha Yisrael. This is a really good place. Chasam Sofer, Tzchusa Yogen Aleinu, says that the Bate Knesios and Bate Midrashos in Chutz La'aretz have a din of Eretz Yisrael. The Maila of Beis Hamedrash in Chutz La'aretz is that you don't have to get into contact with any bureaucrats for the Ministry of the Interior. But allow me to let you into a secret. If you go to one of their offices and you smile at them, and you wish them a good morning, a good afternoon, and you ask them how they are, then they appreciate it, and you don't have too much trouble. Unless and until you forget 500,000 documents that you should have brought to the meeting. My bracha, my tefillah, in terms of our wonderful Beis Hamedrash, is Ko Yitin Hashem V'Ko Yosef. The Beis Hamedrash should continue to be a makom for Hashras HaShechina, Al Bias Goel Tzedek V'Al Bichlal. Tremendous hatzlacha for Rabbi and Rebbetzin Hamer as they are about to start their Avodas HaKodesh Rosh Chodesh Elul. Let them expand the borders of Kedusha over the Kehillah, v'yesa se'is, v'yesa ois, in good health and kol tuv. Right. I'm leaving the Kehillah and the wider Kehillah at a very difficult time for Klal Yisrael. It's difficult here, it's difficult everywhere in the world. The nisyonos of our generation are the nisyonos of Chanukah. They're not the nisyonos of Purim. Purim was lahashmid laharag la'abed, was a destruction of Am Yisrael planned by Haman. Chanukah was Timu kol hashmonim shebeheichal. The Yevonim defiled our minds, the Sfas Emes explains. The Shmonim shebeheichal refers to our moyach, our brain. This is a generation in which we have the challenge of not being mafkir our youth to a chinuch which is tomei, which is negative, which lacks any sensitivity to inyonei kedusha. It's a door of shmad in a gemütliche sort of way, without us even realizing the effect that technology has on us and the effect of the constant barrage of insistence on political correctness, and in particular in Inyonei Kedusha. Bilom Harasha said Asach Gitte Werte. Amongst the bon mot that he uttered was the following: Hein om levodod yishkoin uvagoyim lo yischashov. Klal Yisrael is a nation that dwells alone, by itself. That's not a kalala, that's a bracha. And we don't realize how important it is to latch on to that. We live in times when we don't know what is right and what is wrong. Vayovo Yaakov Sholem Ir Shechem. When Yaakov came back to Eretz Canaan after the years that he'd spent in Choron with Lavan, Chazal tell us that he arrived in Dimdumei Chamo at twilight, the Kovat Tchumin, and he established the Tchum Shabbos. Again, Sfas Emes. Sfas Emes explains that Dimdumei Chamo refers to the time before the Geula HaShalema. It's a time when things are unclear. Yaakov Avinu, Yisrael Saba, laid down clear-cut guidelines as to what is right and what is wrong. And that's really what we need in our generation. There's too much obfuscation, there's too much reliance on political correctness. There is sometimes capitulation as to what the Kehillah stands for. We must not allow ourselves to be seduced into lowering the Madrega of Am Yisrael. We have a Masoires, we have a tradition, we need to continue it. If we don't, we're lost. The Noam Elimelech says, the times of Chevlei Moshiach, what do they mean? Chevlei Moshiach, the pangs of the coming of Moshiach. He says that Chevlei means Chavolim, means ropes. And imagine that there's a huge rope spanning the cosmos. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is holding that rope. Onto the rope, Klal Yisrael cling. Those who have emunah will last. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu is whipping the rope faster and faster. Unfortunately, there are those who are lost because their emunah is not strong enough. And that's what we have to latch onto with all our might and with all our moyach and with all our leiv. Allow me to end by saying, when I came to the Kehillah, first Shabbos, I quoted my Rebbe, Reb Chaim Shmulem Zechet Tzadik Livracha, when referring to the necessity for an individual to make a Kiddush Hashem, particularly if one is in a public position. Allow me now, at the end of our sojourn in Bridge Lane Beis Hamedrash, to quote him again. He used to quote the words of the Navi Micha, Al tismechi oyavti li. Don't rejoice, my enemy. Ki nofalti, albeit I've fallen. Komti, but I've risen. Ki eshe b'choshech, albeit I dwell in darkness. Hashem oir li, God is my light. The compendium of Midrashic literature, the Yalkut Shimoni, says in Micha as follows. Shonu Rabbanon, our rabbis have taught, Mitoich Ka'as, Rotzoin. Mitoich Roigez, Rachamim. Mitoich Tzora, Revacha. Shenema Eis Tzora Hi Liyaakov, Umimeno Yivashea. Mitoich Richuk, Kiruv. Mitoich Nefila, Kima. Mitoich Hafela, Oira. Mitoich Kaas, from anger emerges Rotzoin, appeasement. We find that Hashem says, Heref mimeni v'ashmideim. Leave me, says to Moshe, I will destroy Am Yisrael, Chalila. And immediately the Pasuk says, Vayinochem Hashem, God had remorse, and Klal Yisrael was saved. Mitoich roiges rachamim, from anger comes mercy. As it says, Baroiges, Rachim Tizkar, remember Rachmanus at the time of anger. Mitoich Richuk, from distance comes Kiruv, closeness. As it says, V'hayobim koim asher yomer lahem loim amiatem. Instead of one saying that Hashem says, you're not my people, he will say, no, you are B'nai Kel Choy, the sons of the living God. Mitoich Nefila, from falling comes Kima, standing tall. Shenem, as it says, Ki nofalti kamti. Mitoich Hafela, from darkness emerges Oira, as it says, Ki eshe b'choshech, albeit I dwell in darkness, Hashem orli, God is my light. So I started out here with the hope that from this Rabbanus would emerge a Kiddush Shem Shamayim, from working in the Kehillah. Now, after a lot of episodes, a lot of happenings, a lot of battles, a lot of nefilos, a lot of mistakes, I realized that it's still kedai to carry on trying to be Mekadesh Shem Shamayim. Yes, true, nafalti, but kamti. Yehirotzo, in that the words at the end of the pasuk, Ki eshe b'choshech, that from the darkness that we all find ourselves in, there will, the maskana, the conclusion will come, Hashem or li. And so we daven, as we daven every day, that Or Chodosh al Sion Toyev v'nizkech oladu meher oloi.